Yeah, that's never been. A sexy coffee. So hey, you guys like voice actors, right? You guys don't like voice actors? Then what are you doing here? Make it happen for us.
Hello. You love how we can sit up there with a console and like punch buttons, nothing happens. He walks in, sits down, doesn't touch anything, and now we're all fine. It's amazing. Yeah. It's a magic button. Thank you. Thank you. Let's not fight anymore. All right. Let's start with intros. Why don't you start?
Sure. I just want to keep doing that. Hi, everybody. I'm really hoarse. See? It's happening. Yeah, we went to Spooky World. How many people have been there? Woo! It was spooky, and I screamed a lot. Now I can't talk. My name's Cason. I'm in your program. I've been here for 7 years. That's Laura. That almost came out of Lauren's nose. Let me be specific. Yeah, the hot tea she's drinking. Yeah, I'm in the program, and I definitely. Who cares? Yeah, I'm in stuff, and running Full Metal Alchemist and Holy Road Empire, and Italia, and Robo and Tension, and Dragon Ball Z, and Ninja Shu, and Dragon Ball movie, and blah 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 blah. Thank you.
Wait, I have a request. I would like everyone to clap like that. It's just a weird sound. It's like, yeah, we were patronized earlier.
Yeah, I'm a Lauren Landa, and my horse is also voice. Yes, Spooky World was awesome, and I had a bunch of screaming girls next to me, including this one. No, it was fantastic, and then at one point Cason was in the lead, and nobody tried to scare him. They were just trying to scare us. It was really funny. They just
he can't be scared.
And I saw them getting. I would walk forward. I could look behind me, see them ready to scare you, and just go.
He was like our haunted house Gandalf. Like he'd walk forward, they'd scare us, and we'd look back at Cason, and he'd be like.
I did the voiceover thing. That voiceover thing, yeah. There's Annie in Attack on Titan, Kasumi in Dead or Alive 5, Hercules, Kyoto in Madoka Magica, Yamlasha in Soul Calibur 5, Leia in Tales of Exilion, Tales of Exilia 2, oh my gosh, so much. Ein in One Piece Film Z, so very excited for that to be out now, finally. And a lot of other stuff, oh, and female Robin in Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers. You guys are so not awake, it's so funny.
Is this the way to check out of our rooms and go somewhere crowd?
Yeah.
Parking lot is cool.
Yeah, it's windy out there. Let's take shelter. Hi everyone, I'm J. Michael Tatum, and I
I get it. When he talks, you'll wake up. I totally get it.
How does that affect?
It's a curse, believe me. No, I've done lots of stuff. I'm also a lead adaptive writer for Funimation, so I get to work on all sorts of cool shows, both behind the scenes and, well, I guess voice acting technically is also behind the scenes since I'm not actually in the cell animation. But I should be made of paint. Interesting life that would be. They just like after each show they could like wear me down and then just like remix me and then paint me as something else. That's weird, I don't want to do that. Okay, so, yes, I've been in lots of stuff, lots of shows. I don't want to say the names, you'll all scream, it annoys me. Stop it, what did I just say? I'm currently, I can be seen, or heard rather, playing Erwin Smith in Attack on Titan. Which is a hell of a show. I'm also in a thing called Black Butler. Jesus Christ. And I'm a little saucy. I'm a little saucy today. It's Sunday, and I screamed a lot last night because there were clowns there. I was happy to announce that we got there. Okay, you have to understand, about 3 years ago, my first time coming to this con, they took us to Spooky World, and they were like, now there's a clown-themed haunted house. And I'm like, nope. And I stayed behind, like, eating funnel cakes and crying while they all went through that. And said, oh my God, you should have gone. But nope. But they were all awesome. We're walking through, and every time one of the free-range clowns would come up and be like, hey, like they were like, oh, they're like clown, and they would like form a protective dome over me. And so I was fine. So this year I felt like, you know what, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Let's just go to the clown house. And I did, and I didn't punch a single clown. So I felt very, very accomplished. And I think I've made inroads into conquering my fear of people that choose to look like that. I was fine until we went through every haunted house. We went through that house first, then we walked through the rest of the houses, and then we had like walking back to the car. There's some jerk in a clown outfit that's like, hey, and I'm like, hey, oh God! Do I need to? If you do that again, I'm turning you off completely. But enough about me, the lovely lady to my left, right? What is it? Right. Stage left. Stage left.
Good morning. My name is J. Michael Tatum. Oh. Well, for one day, I wish it was. Rachel Robinson, the illiterate Rachel Robinson. So proud of them for making it through Spooky World. They tried to scare me and it just didn't work. They just kind of got in my face. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And they're like, damn. And then they run away. The talking thing with the mics and then the people and the animated, but y'all play Final Fantasy 13 and 13-2 with the birdies and so there's Fang and there's Zorn Blitz from Hellsing Ultimate, which is on Tsunami now. And she just made her first appearance last night, so wait till next week. things are bad. And I see what you did there. I've got to play Elder Scrolls Online. I play a lizard lady, the Argonian, and let's see, Celsius from Tales of Xillia, and Holly White from Bravely Default. And some really fun animes coming up, but I got to be Queen Elizabeth II in Italia for 2 seconds. Worth it! The what? I'll take it. I'm going to hand it over to, what's your name again? Rachel Robinson?
Hey guys. I did not go to Spooky World last night, but I did punch a clown, so...
That's a successful Saturday.
I might not be allowed to come back to your fair state. Patrick Seitz, I do voice acting, voice directing, script adapting. Script adapting was what I was doing last night, living the dream. One Piece and Italia and it's a friend back there. Clumsy, apparently. Patrick Seitz. And, like I said, I realized. How about the mic is big? The free range mic is big now. We all have mics in. Is that what we do?
Why would we do that?
I just have this gigantic stand. It's going to turn into a game of Clue. J. Michael Tatum in Salon A with the microphone stand. Oh, so yes, I'm going to pass this down just so we don't spend the entire panel telling you who we are, because you know, because you're here.
Hello, my name is also J. Michael Tatum. And little known fact about me is I am actually Mr. Clean's stunt double. My name is David Vincent, and I'm doing the voice stuff too. Along with some on-camera stuff, I also do guest stars and co-stars on TV. Shows like NCIS, The Mentalist. Thank you. Some of the, you may recognize me from roles as Grimjow from the series Bleach. Awesome shows like Code Geass, Blue Exorcist, Durarara, Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night. The most Code Geass. Awesome. And then a couple of the video games, Patrick and Lauren and I are also in the Blaze Blue series. Any Blaze Blue fans out there? I'm sorry, and Cindy Robinson, also in Blaze Blue. And then Castlevania, a whole bunch of other stuff. And then I'm also in the new Smash Brothers. Reprising my role as Robin from Fire Emblem. Happy to be here with you guys, enjoying this wonderful weekend.
Hi, I'm Cindy Robinson.
Not J. Michael Tatum.
Right, I'm currently doing Queen Beryl in the new Sailor Moon. So you guys have heard of Sailor Moon? Yeah? Okay, because it was new to me. And I'm also really short, so I'm gonna sit on my foot so you can see me from behind the table. Let's see, what else? Balsa in Moribito. I'm doing Ever After High and Monster High and Polly Pockets. I am doing Makoto in Blaze Blue. Yes, and I guess my favorite part right now is that I get to kill Patrick Seitz as well. No, I'm just kidding. My wheelhouse is basically, I do sluts, bitches, and little boys. And any character with ginormous breasts. So, yeah, right? Let's hear it for ginormous breasts. Yeah. Okay, so anything else, IMDb me, because that sounds dirty. And passing it over.
That is a tough act to follow. You just can't follow ginormous breasts. You need to stand in front of them. Yeah. I'm Christopher Smith, and I too do the voice actor thing and stuff. And I'm old and can't remember what I've done, so I have a cheat sheet here. Please bear with me. Attack on Titan, Crossfire Beatamon, Usorenkin, Berserk, Digimon Fusion, Durarara, Eureka 7, Flag from the Alchemist. I did that. I don't think I did. Oh well. Gurren Lagann, High School DxD, Jormungand, Marmalade Boy Mars, Daybreak, blah blah blah. I'm the voice of the Joker in the Lego Batman series. And I recently was the voice of Luke Skywalker in Phineas and Ferb Star Wars.
That's all the time we have, guys.
You guys got questions? Oh yeah, you do. Okay, right here. And the last one, the black sleeve, over here, to the far right. Yeah, you, with the hat.
Any of you were inspired by the radio actors from the 1940s and 1950s, or any of the radio shows, and do you feel that they also impact the voiceover industry?
I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, sure.
Oh, now, we're seriously passing the mic. So the question,
Okay, the question is, do you feel that the radio dramas and the radio actors in the 1940s and the 1950s had an impact on the voiceover industry, and have any of them or any of those shows inspired you in your voice acting career?
Yes. Yeah, oh, very, hello. Oh yeah, very much so. I grew up listening to Suspense and The Shadow and all of those other wonderful shows. I mean, a hero of mine is Orson Welles and his War of the Worlds broadcast. A number of us actually met because we did a recreation at Anime Boston of the Orson Welles War of the Worlds. That went over so well, Jim Michael, and it was brilliant in it. It was so, but no you. And I mean, for me, like I said, I grew up listening to that, and then at one point, I was turned on to audio comedy by groups like Fireside Theater, who did a parody of old-time radio called Nick Danger, Third Eye. And I remember just waiting for the regular show to come on, and all of a sudden the radio station played that, and I thought, what is this? I didn't know it could be like this. And just pretty much cemented what it was I wanted to do with the rest of my life.
No.
Next year we should entitle this panel, eight voice actors struggle to use 3 microphones.
I was told there'd be no math. You took my answer.
Yeah, ditto.
Well, I was raised largely by my grandparents who grew up in the radio era. And so when I was a little kid, they used to send off for these audio book versions of these old radio plays like War of the Worlds and like Inner Sanctum and The Shadow, all these things that my grandmother had grown up with listening. And they had this really cool old radio that they had refurbished into a cabinet with like stereo equipment inside of it, so they could put the tapes inside and then close the thing, and it looked and sounded and the lights and everything like you were just listening to an old-time radio. And so it was awesome, and I was absolutely transported by that stuff when I was a kid, because, I don't know, I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of television when I was very young, because they didn't believe in it. They thought, an hour here, an hour there, but let's not just set you in front of it. So I didn't have a lot of traffic with TV, but I loved just the word pictures that these radio plays would create. And I fell in love with Orson Welles, and later found out that towards the latter half of his life, when he was doing more television appearances and things like that, like one on the Dean Martin show to do Falstaff of all things. God, I miss those days in television where like some guy could be like, I'm gonna play Falstaff on a variety hour. Like, what actor goes on Saturday Night Live now and does like a scene from Hamlet? It doesn't happen, but there's this weird time in television where all these old actors were kind of finding new ground in their careers because television was like, we don't really know what we are yet, so let's just do anything. And there's all these really, really great old interviews between like him and Dick Cavett. I was speaking of Orson Welles with like Dick Cavett and all these other great radio personalities that were really hard, fun interviews. And Welles was just a great storyteller, legendary raconteur. Half of everything he said was bullshit, but what glorious bullshit it was. And so I just fell in love with that kind of personality and the way he thought about his own work and what he'd done. And I've always his particular genius was for kind of promoting himself as the guy that's like, well, I'm just doing it because I love it. I mean, he was just a weird, cool guy, and that he made acting seem really cool to me when I was a kid. And so I thought about, I just felt he made it legit for me, I suppose. And I first encountered him on the old radio.
No. But my father was a huge fan of The Shadow, so that I am familiar with that, and he always used to get very excited over that as he would tell me about it. What is it? What is it? The Shadow knows.
And The Shadow was played by Orson Welles.
Yes.
That's a big shadow.
It's also played by Alec Baldwin. Yeah.
That's a slice.
Good question, thank you. I love they're like, screw you, walk.
Somebody's holding up a pink button.
Big bunny, who's the John?
Come on down, they put a microphone right there. Woo! Hey,
You're
come
the
on
next
down.
contestant on the prize is right. Da, 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 da.
Which washing machine costs more? You got the crappy name of like
A new car!
So, what was the first anime you've ever watched, and what was the one you watched last? As in, like, yesterday you watched something, or something
Yeah,
like
the last anime you'll never watch.
you watch it and you die in 10 minutes.
Mine was Speed Racer.
Ah.
Yeah, and I still love it because even for anime, it's really dramatic. But there's a nail in my tire, The last anime I watched? I wanted to watch Helsing last night, but this hotel has no Cartoon Network.
Yeah. The first anime that I saw, I think, was, I believe it or not, I believe it was Sailor Moon. It was a mixture of Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z before Funimation picked it, when it was only being done in Canada. Yeah, Ocean Gun. And so in the last one that I watched, the last anime that I watched was, oh gosh, what was it? I think it was, actually no, it was Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods. That was the last anime.
But that's 8 times you watched.
That's 8 times.
Seen that movie?
I have seen that movie so many friggin' times because it's so good. That's why I totally nerd out with Cason over it. I'm like, Cason, do the voice. Do the shoe voice.
He hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah, I haven't even seen it, so.
The first anime I ever watched, I didn't know, was from Japan. It was, and it came one after another after school. It was G-Force Battle of the Planets, it was Star Blazers, and Voltron. And those were the movies I used to watch in cluster all the time. And then, and by the way, short story, so, I was talking about this the other day. G-Force Battle of the Planets, or Gatchaman. There's a character I used to watch, it was called, the English dub, it was called Keop. Keop was the little one with the buck teeth, and he had a speech impediment. So he was going to say, I like peanut butter. He would go, brr, tick, tick, I like peanut butter. Brr. It turns out he didn't have a speech impediment. The scriptwriters just couldn't find a way to fill the flaps. We would be fired! Can you imagine? So it was just like, I don't know, making dog funny, put the in there. So I was childhood over. And the last, actually, the fandom for anime has actually created, it's raised the bar so that now we could never get away with something like that. And the last one I saw was Space Dandy.
I'm with Cason. I totally grew up with like Battle of the Planets and Gatchaman, and particularly Star Blazers. That was someone that really left a mark on me, and Voltron. And I mean, it's funny because my awareness of anime kind of came in waves when I was a kid and I was watching all these really old classic shows. I wasn't aware that it was anime. I mean, there was no name for it. It was just stuff that came over from Japan. But we called them cartoons. Yeah, it was just cartoons. It was cartoons about people like, you know, intergalactic battles and these crazy story arcs, often very dark. And wow, this is cool. I got out of anime later when I was around my teens because that was the time of like Pokemon and stuff, and I just wasn't the audience for that, so it was cool. But I refound it after Cowboy Bebop in the late 90s. And I was like, oh, that's right, this stuff was really cool, and by then it had a name for me. But I guess the last one I watched was the show I'm working on now as an adaptive writer, which I can't tell you. But it's pretty cool.
The last one I watched, same answer as Tatum. Different show, but same, can't tell what it is. Second to last thing I watched, probably some of Volume 2 of Kill la Kill.
You know what Patrick hasn't seen yet, hasn't finished yet? Tatum.
In all my spare time. Let me get right on.
Crap for Battle of Gods. I had to throw it back.
As far as the first thing I saw, I don't even know what it was, and I could be inventing this out of whole cloth in my mind, but I swear back in the day, when I was young enough to like being up at 6 a.m. to watch cartoons seemed like a good life choice. So this was many moons ago. There was some show, it was some fantasy show, and the art style was very Dragon Quest-y. I'm sure it got bastardized and rearranged all to hell, but 7-year-old me was just like, so yeah, not a great answer from Seitz.
Sorry. Great answer.
One of my very first animes, very definitively, Star Blazers. Loved that show. I used to watch it every morning. It was on every morning before I went to school. And so Star Blazers was my very first anime. Back then it was Japanimation.
Japanimation?
Yes. Oh, way back then. A little old.
That is.
I know. How un-PC. But yeah, Star Blazers was one of my favorites. Cowboy Bebop also was one of my early favorites. The last anime that I've watched, which is something I don't typically do, but is Kill la Kill. Watch an anime while I'm actually ahead of time before I'm actually working on the show. So Kill la Kill was the last anime that I actually watched.
I'm with you, Rachel. The Two Robinsons. Speed Racer. I used to watch that with my dad, and we used to love to sing the theme song. You know, go Speed Racer, go! Right. And then a few years ago, not a few years later, a lot of years later, when they rebooted it, they cast me as Trixie. And that was the most awesome thing, was to call my dad and say, hey, guess what? Remember when we used to watch that? Yeah, so he was excited for that. The last thing that I watched, quite honestly, is currently Sonic Boom, the new Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon coming out. I play Amy Rose, and they gave us a screening of a couple of episodes, and you guys watch it because it's gonna be awesome. But that was the last thing I watched, because apparently I only watch things I'm in. I'm like that. All right.
See, the first anime I remember watching was reruns of Kimba, the White Lion. Alright. And the last thing I watched was Titan. So, which would be a great mashup. Like Attack on Kimba. That'd be great. Who lives down in the darkest Africa? Squish! I'd watch it.
Come up to the mic if you have a question.
You gotta be quick, man.
You'll be next.
Hi. I'm just this is a little snappy, but thank you all so much for coming. You guys worked really hard, and we really all appreciate every single one of you. So thank you. I did ask this question of Miss Rachel last night. It was a really cool answer, so I just I'm wondering, for you guys, I know you guys do a lot of voice acting, but if you guys could do live action, what film franchise would you be in? And just to be fair, for me, it would be The Hobbit or Lord of the Rings. Any TV show. Any live action. Any live action.
Well, Game of Thrones is one of my favorite TV shows. So I'd love to be part of that. True Blood is done, thank God. I loved it for a while, but it just started going downhill. Game of Thrones, and what was the other thing? There was another one too. Pretty much Walking Dead would be fun too, but Game of Thrones is probably my #1 choice on that.
Can I add to my answer? Hannibal. It is one of the best things on TV, and maybe one of the best things I've seen in the last 10 years. It's phenomenal. Or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
The show's off the air now, it's done, so there's no chance of me ever being involved with it, but man, I would love to have been part of Breaking Bad. That show is just amazing. Also, I think about, I'd love to do stage again one day as I get older, but I was I've really likely fallen in love with a kind of an obscure musical called Barnum. Do you know what that is? P.T. Barnum, Barnum. I would love to do that role. But yeah, those are mine.
I know.
I don't know what live action. I feel like it would be. These are clearly the words of a man who just doesn't get the chance to do live action. It would be weird for me going from you get to be like monsters and demons and big tough guys to you're our low rent Seth Rogen. You know what I mean? That would definitely feel like a step down. I wouldn't turn down the work, but it would feel very weird to suddenly be you can only play what you look like. You know what I mean? One of the things I like about VO so much is that you've got the spectrum. It's like musical theater and opera. If you sound right, we can make you look like the dude at a distance. Except we don't even have to because it's audio only. You know what I mean? It's that same conceit of, you're Zarastro, you're the big bass and you're 25. But you've got the pipes for it, so yeah. So I don't know what I'd do. I'd be the dude who didn't take PE class seriously and dies right away and Walking Dead. I don't know. it's a weird question. I mean, it's not a bad question. It's something I never been posed. Nothing that's ever been posed to you before. I don't know. I take what I can get. I was once the only white dude on an episode of Moesha, so that was motivating. I don't know.
What do you think of?
I think anything Star Wars related. I would just love to be a part of that franchise, if I could. Also, and this is my own guilty pleasure, which probably nobody in this room other than me has seen, but Downton Abbey. Love, that is such my guilty pleasure. I literally giggle like a schoolgirl when it comes on. I'm like, ooh, another show. So, Downton Abbey.
Have you seen Downton Arby's? It's a thing they're running an Arby's franchise, but they're still very prim and proper. That is awesome.
I never even considered doing on camera. That's kind of not what I ever wanted to do, but I guess I would want to be part of the Sherlock franchise. I love that. Love that. And if it were going to be a TV show, it would probably be something like Homeland, because I like CIA spy stuff and things like that. Not an interesting answer. Patrick, I'm sorry. Only if they drew on big boobs. There you go. Double D. There you go.
Let's see. Television, I mean, it's long over, but I would have loved to have been part of the reboot of Battlestar. I love that. That and Breaking Bad, fantastic. Currently, things that haven't expired, it's a guilty pleasure. I'm a big fan of Blacklist. Which, yeah, I know, it's a kind of cheesy show, but it's a lot of fun. Movie-wise, yeah, episode 7, that would be really exciting. Or if they ever rebooted Indiana Jones, which I hope they don't. That's so long. They're what?
They're making the 4th movie.
They are making the 4th one because what? They're just denying that the other 4th one exists.
Then they're making the next one.
Why you say? Oh, okay. I thought you were being, existential.
I wish I could do that.
What's?
Indiana Jones and the both
And the quest for Jericho. So that's anyway.
Yeah, it was the CG monkeys. I just totally blocked it.
That was Shia LaBeouf.
Full House.
How long?
You get it. Whatever. Thank you. Okay, next question. All right, yeah, you're next.
better be good.
Yeah, of course it's gonna be good. The problem with Indiana Jones 4 was not the monkeys or Shia LaBeouf, it was the fact that there were aliens in an Indiana Jones movie. But
as opposed to ghosts, because that's...
As opposed to
yeah,
ghosts.
we can have an argument about that.
I suppose you got a point.
They were holy ghosts.
But my question is you guys, are you able to like watch your own work? Because I know I've heard a lot of actors can't watch their own work because they find it just kind of embarrassing. Is that hold true for any of you? Well, it's not embarrassing because it's a bad job. It's just.
I feel like what I'm hearing is, are any of you embarrassed by your careers?
I say this partially because I do some plays and stuff now and then, and someone usually films them when everyone watches. I just can't do it because I'm just like, oh God. Do any of you feel that way about any of the work you do, or do you just sort of deal with it?
I feel like it's a natural reaction to look at your own stuff the first couple times out and be like, oh God. I mean, the thing about like the difference between doing stage work is it's so organic and it's live theater, so it's done, it's over. You never have to revisit it again. It's something like you've done for film or dubbing or whatever. It's there, it's finished. There is nothing you can do about it. And you watch it and you're like, oh, why did they go with that take? Why did they do? Oh, I didn't feel that was my strongest. Well, whatever, but that's actors. We second guess ourselves all the time. That's why we need directors. Left to our own devices, we just be doing there all this. But hang on, it's not perfect yet. Take 47. This one, just, you know, whatever. And I know I've directed myself before, and it's impossible. But yeah, I mean, I've gotten to the point where I can watch my own stuff because I feel that I need to do it to kind of be able to judge. And it is, sometimes it is very, very hard. But it gets easier the more I do it because, you know, I'm able to kind of separate myself and be like, well, it's done, and I just have to trust my director that that was the performance they wanted, and it works with them, and it will hopefully work for the audience we're going for. So I just kind of step back and I'm clinical about it, I suppose. So it's gotten easier because I just pretend it's not me. Because it isn't. I mean, it's the character I'm playing. I just kind of get over that and be like, oh, I don't hear myself. I try to just hear the character. It's when I do hear myself, that's when I'm thinking, no, I didn't do very well because I'm still hearing myself in there, and it's too much me. It's not enough the other character. So, but I mean, at first it was terrible. First, I couldn't stand hearing my own voice, and I loved it. People were like, wow, it doesn't sound anything like you, and I'm like, thank God.
Yeah. That's the nicest compliment we get.
Right. My own mother was like, now which one are you? And like, I'm like the one talking. I don't think that's right. That can't be right. Are you sure?
And Michael, you've actually also seen yourself on stage while being on stage, haven't you? You've actually been in two places at once.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah.
It's a huge compliment when people can't identify your voice. That means you've done something really different. I tend to play a lot of characters that are essentially modified versions of myself, not me, as Rachel or whatever. And it's nice to be able to stretch. My first voiceover ever is awful. And I dare any of you to try and find it. It's a poison control video, and it's somewhere in Onondaga County, New York. Have fun! And it was done on like an Amiga computer, and it was like a talking red rubber ball with hamburger helper hands, and it's just horrendous. So if I see it now, I'm like, this is wretched. And yeah, there's certain. I record most of my auditions from home, and I save all of them because it's really helpful to go back and listen. And, you know, there's no way to really analyze. There's a formula for why you get chosen or not chosen. Listening to my audition for Fang, I don't know that I would have chosen you based on that. On the other hand, they did. So I was really happy about that. I'm like, I'll trust your decision. But like Michael was saying, you have to trust that the director has, you know, directed you that way for a certain reason, gotten the performance they wanted. It's extremely hard. We're all very self-critical, and yeah, I will sometimes I stopped doing this, but yeah, I did up to like 10 takes, mostly because there were like peep pops, and then there was a leaf blower outside, and then something fell on the roof, and I was like, ah! And I was so mad that I finally just had to get the words out, and then I got a call back, and I was like, maybe outside distractions are the key. So it's, you guys just gotta detach.
I don't know about you guys, but I do on-camera work, and whenever I see myself on TV, I usually pause the TV and go, how you doing? No, I'm kidding. No, honestly, I've just done it enough for so many years now, both on-camera, voiceover, or whatever it is, that I kind of just, whenever I'm there on the job, I give 110%. At least that's what I try to do every single time. So, and then after I walk out of the studio or off the set or whatever it is, I'm done. And so I can kind of detach myself from it. Just watch if it's an appearance on TV, it's fantastic, that looked great, good. And if it's a role that I've done in a video game or anime or whatnot, then I'm able to just, you know, sit back and enjoy it. I try not to critique myself or critique myself, because then you drive yourself nuts.
I just get tired of this stupid stand thing. Yeah, I'm the same way. I kind of detach myself when it comes to... It also depends on the show and the video game. If the video game catches my interest while I'm recording, you know, like, whether it's the game or the storyline, then yeah, I'll say, oh yeah, like, I'll go and watch this because I want to see if it's a good show or not, to me, if it's my cup of tea. Yeah, you get it. But most of the time I don't watch a lot of the stuff that I'm in, but recently I've been so excited about a lot of the projects that I've worked on that I do go out and watch them if I get them or if I have any access to them. As for video games, I love video games but I just don't have any time to play them. But I try and get it as much as I can. But yeah, pretty much as it comes to performance, when I first did my first anime show, it was very uncomfortable hearing it was cool at the same time, but it was very like, bad, it sounds so bad. But eventually, you just kind of get over that after you've done it for a while. So, Cason, do you have anything?
Directing. It was mentioned before, but by the way, directing yourself is the worst thing in the world. You are you're your own worst critic, and it's never good enough, and you do a million more takes than you would have done with anyone else, so you're very critical when you're directing yourself as a character in a show. But as far as me watching or listening to myself, I kind of do the reverse where there's a show on, it's on Adult Swim, I will DVR it, I will go home with it on at night, I sit down on the couch, bag of chips, Coke in one hand, Coca-Cola that is. A quick key hit before I watch. And so I got the soda in one hand, the pop, I got the Doritos in the next, and the clicker, and I will, the show will start, I will forward it to my part and go, hey, look, I'm on TV, delete. This is what I do.
You don't even open the chips.
I didn't even know, no, I just...
It's one bag from...
They're stale.
I only watch shows I'm in. In fact, I only watch the scenes of shows that I'm in. If I'm in games, I will force my son to play them as me. I like to self-direct because I'll do a line and then I'll ask for it to be played back just so I can say, damn, that's good. Play that again. So, don't judge.
Sam.
So recently, Fantasy American Life, they had a story on the show about voice actors who was reporting an audition by Jim Frank actually got locked in a closet for television and had to be rescued. So thanks for that story. I'm curious, do any of you have any unusual or interesting things that are happening to you while you're recording?
I got locked in the closet.
That was you.
That was me.
So embarrassing stories that took weird or weird.
Things tend to be more interesting without pants. I find.
Patrick,
That's a life lesson for you, future.
Patrick, you have to tell the story. Please.
It's a much deeper gurgle than that, but it's awesome.
Have any of you played Killer is Dead?
Yeah.
You guys make up for the rest of the room that is not. It's a very odd game, but the cutscenes are very, very sort of noir and cinematic, and the mic was very hot, and I was very close to it, and everything was played very small, which is not usually my wheelhouse. I forget what was, I think I was directing something, so I had to go in the morning, so all my sessions was had to be first thing in the morning. So I'm there, and we're doing the line, and talking about something. Killer is... Like, it wasn't just a gurgle. It had like friggin' gobbler. And so I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. And there's a control room, like the director and the engineer and the client from Japan, they're all looking at me like, you look like a dude that skipped breakfast. Like, I'm so sorry, let's try again. So I'm like, okay, sorry, let's listen. Killer is... And then it's seriously going that long, I'm just looking at them through the class like, I don't freaking know you guys. So the next day I went in, I had a big breakfast, I'm like, I've got a solution for this. I'm making a big breakfast instead of no breakfast. Let's go to the other extreme. I'm like, all right, I'm so ready. Killer is... I'm like, son of a... For reals? Stupid stomach. It wouldn't just happen, like it happened, I look at him like, we're gonna be here for a minute. Like, yeah.
basically gurgle either coming from our throats or our stomachs or something. It is so embarrassing but hilarious.
You are not safe from any bodily function privacy in front of a mic. You just aren't. And it's all on tape, and they play it back for you. And a lot of times, engineers think they're really funny. And a lot of times, they'll like, do you guys know what beeps are when they set up beeps? Yeah. Okay, so it's beep, 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 talk on the fourth beep. So one time, I had I'm very ballsy about a lot of things, but there's one thing I'm really weird about, and that's farts. I hate them. I don't like to talk about them. I don't like to know they exist. Well, I was doing a session and I was screaming and it happened. And
acid voice mistakes were made.
even right now I'm starting to sweat a little having to say this out loud. So the recording engineer over in one of my favorites, and he's a great guy and all of that stuff, cut it together as the beat for my next loop. So I'm sitting there, they're like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm ready." And it's like, and I'm like,
that is just cruel. Oh my gosh.
oh, so there you go. You want to know about embarrassing stories next? I'll never speak about farts again.
I was going to tell the embarrassing booth story. Like, okay, I do a lot of embarrassing stuff in the booth. Like, I'm really animated and knock things over. I make noise, and sometimes, and when we're in those big rooms where there's the glass wall and you can see everything you're doing, it's like apparently pulling a Tatum is now a euphemism for looking like a jackass. Or record, because I'll be like running in place and singing or whatever, even though it's like, yes, I love you, and what the hell are you doing? I don't know. But I'm really energetic, and when we're recording, many of you probably know the story, but there's an addendum to it now. The Snuggie story from Italian. Okay, calm down. Calm down, just calm down. I believe in you, we're gonna make this. I was in the booth one day trying to do the accent, and I couldn't do it, and there just happened to be a Snuggie on the floor that somebody left there because they were cold, and I just was screwing around and thought, I'm gonna put the Snuggie on because I'm getting kind of a Frosty the Snowman magic top hat vibe from this thing, and I put it on, and indeed, I was like, oh, there's the accent, I need the blue Snuggie, and so after that, it became a thing. Like, every time they had this Snuggie waiting for me. Walk in the booth, oh, you have to record, put the Snuggie on. So it's like, put the Snuggie on, I'm like, you see, put the Snuggie on. So I'm recording a grown man in this ridiculous, basically, this thing, and it became a thing. And later on, we did season 2, the Snuggie came out of the vault, and I had to wear it again. It was like the running joke. Tatum always has to wear this Snuggie when he records. We're thinking about making him wear it when he goes to conventions for Natalia. So we were, Patrick was there with me actually, we were in Baltimore for the show's premiere, and it was a really cool East meets West thing where the show's creator from Japan was there with us and had an interpreter, a team of interpreters. And one of the stories I told was the Snuggie story while we're up on this panel with everyone, and he thought it was hilarious. So just a short while ago, about 6 or 7 months ago, we were recording the latest bit of Italia. There happens to be a scene where France, in the room, is the only one wearing a goddamn Snuggie. And I'm like, oh, son of a... That was kind of cool and embarrassing at the same time. I'm like, oh, it's a sleepover, and they're all in pajamas. Oh my god, it's got a Snuggie. It's got a little heart on it. I'm like... Okay, so we have time for we have 2 minutes here. Oh, we have no minutes. No minutes at all. We gave you all our minutes.
What else is going on for everybody today? Cason, what else you got?
I got autographs at 1 o'clock. I've got Chris Cason sound off panel from 2:30 to 3:30, and thank you. I'm reading a sticker at the back. This is my cheat sheet, everybody. It's right here. Thank you. Where? Oh, the answer to that question is autographs, of course, are in the Expo Center, but my sound off panel at 2:30 is in Frost.
And then the last thing that I have for today is the Lauren Landa panel. God, that's going to be boring. 1 to 2 o'clock p.m. and that's the last thing. That's right now. That's right now. you all should be on the Lauren Landa panel. You all should be. And then that's it for me for this weekend, and then I head out. So, Mr. Tatum.
I have autographs in the Expo Center from 1 to 2, and then I'm in the match game in the Armory from 3 to 4:30, and then closing ceremonies, and then I'm gonna have some lunch, and then go to my room and take a nap, and then I'm gonna get up and go get some dinner. No, you don't need to know that. Okay. That's my room number is 2.
In Hawthorne, I have the Final Fantasy Shopping Fang panel. And after that, that's at 1:30. And then in Salonby, 3 o'clock, Heroes, Villains, and Weirdos. Cool with. And then closing ceremonies in the Armory. And then, sleep at some point, but like tomorrow.
Autographs right freaking now, and then closing ceremonies.
I've got actually a really exciting panel. It's in the green room where they've got sandwiches, and it's watch David Vincent chew and swallow. No, actually, I'm Cindy. This is a family show. Pardon me. Anyway, I'm done for this convention, so we're off to the airport after this. So thank you guys so much for having me. An absolutely lovely time getting to meet each and every one of you. So thank you very much.
As my personal hero Cartman says, screw you guys, going home. Going home, guys. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for going. Thank you. Please excuse us if we make a beeline out of here because we do have autographs right now. So we love you.